The NFL constantly changing injuries. I mean, there's always something going on. The Lions have a lot of injuries after their week 2 loss against the Seahawks, and there's a perfect trade partner, um, player out there, partner and player that the Lions could go after. That is Cam Akers, running back. Now you think, well, that's a cool story. I don't know. Vegas, you don't mess with Vegas. They have the Lions with the best odds to trade for Cam Akers, and that's for two reasons. And let me know in the comments, Cam Akers, kind of a weird story with him. We'll get into that in just a second. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Is this something that you would trade for? And obviously, it depends on the price, but would you trade for Cam Akers, or are you happy with who we have in Jahmyr Gibbs? Of course, we have Reynolds, and then we've got some practice players coming up. Is that enough? Are we a good enough team where it's like we need to get a running back in there and to keep establishing the running game? Let me know in the comments. Entering Sunday, Detroit didn't seem like a fit, but then Montgomery left in the fourth quarter with an apparent leg injury. And the only other running backs on the roster, Jahmyr Gibbs, Craig Reynolds, who has just 18 NFL carries at age 27. Didn't realize that, by the way. Craig Reynolds, and this is why I like it, because I don't think Craig Reynolds is that good. He was a good story. I loved him when he was here a couple years ago, but we need to make it happen. So Akers was a 2020 second round pick of GM Brad Holmes when he was here. He liked Akers back then. B, he's got history with doing deals with the Rams, and the Rams like Brad Holmes. And it's just this weird thing. And let me know what you think, but it feels like we get a better deal with this. It's like, I know Brad Holmes, we got an insider's track to it. So I think we can get Cam Akers at a better deal than most teams. Maybe that's just naive of me, but I think that's what's going on. Here's the thing about Sean McVay. For some reason, Sean McVay, Cam Akers, they've just never really gotten along, never been on the same page. So last season, Akers spent nearly a month away from the Rams in the middle of the season after McVay said they're going to explore options, find a running back, a fresh new start with another team. McVay told reporters they want to see more urgency from Akers. McVay said Sunday that this situation is different than what transpired last season. So still last year, this year, healthy scratch. It's like, okay. So if you look at Cam Akers' numbers, they're nothing spectacular just because he's in his rookie deal. Again, 2020, 2021's a little bit of COVID, 2022, and then he didn't really play a lot. And then this year he's a healthy scratch. So it's like, what's the real potential with this guy? What is the deal here? In maybe switching teams would be perfect. And then we've got our number one back. We've got our number one. Then we can use Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs is electric. He's going to be awesome. But you saw it in the game, and Dan Campbell said this. He left some plays out there against the Seahawks. The pick six. No one's actually said this, but it looks like could be possibly been a bad route by Jahmyr Gibbs. So while we all love Jahmyr Gibbs, he's just maybe not there yet. It's his rookie year. He's played 2 games. So if we are as good as we think we are and we want to go places we want to go, we need a number one back. So it all depends on, number one, how injured is Montgomery? He didn't go on IR. It's kind of a day-to-day, even week-to-week situation. So maybe he only misses 2 weeks and fine. Even still, I like Cam Akers as our 1 or 2 back. And then you're using Jahmyr Gibbs as your flash player, your slot guy, whatever. So I like this trade. I because Cam Akers is just a mystery to me, and so I wonder what we could get, what it would take to get him. And I don't know if the Rams view him as like, just get him out of here. Here, fine, 6th round pick, just get him out of here. 6th round pick in 2025, and just get him out of here. Or is it, no, we think he's a really good player, he's a really good running back, and we want a 3rd round pick. I don't know. I think we can get him for a 4th round pick in like 2025 or something, right? I really don't know what he's worth and what they'll be willing to move on him from, but I think Brad Holmes has definitely said, hey, we'll give you a 6th round pick. And the Rams have to decide, because I don't think anyone's just jumping all over this. He's a running back. Running backs dime a dozen, really, except for the top guys. And he's got a checkered history with just the Rams and the whole deal. So again, I go back to the fact that Vegas has him as the best odds to get Cam Akers from the Rams. And I think that all goes back to the relationship between the Lions and the Rams. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. I just think that the Lions are really thinking that they've got something here still. The season can be salvaged. You know, we've lost one game. We've got a lot of injuries, but we have a deeper team than we've ever had in the past. And we've got a good culture. So we can add guys in. We still have our quarterback. I mean, literally, our quarterback is the only thing where it's like, okay, season is over. Until Jared Goff is injured, we got a chance. And that's not because Jared Goff is just this unbelievable player, but he's really good. And you've got your quarterback and you've got a culture. You should be able to shuffle guys in and make plays, do what you have to do to make things happen. So I just think we want to run the ball, and we got to be able to run the ball. And you know, when Jameson Williams comes back, and that's what's so crazy. I mean, you see all these injuries. It's only week 2. I mean, we got a long way to go. Guys are going to come in, come out, be injured, miss 3 weeks, miss 4 weeks. But we hope to be there at the end, right? At the stretch run in weeks 50, you know, Thanksgiving and beyond. And that's can we have a meaningful Thanksgiving game and then meaningful games thereafter? And so that just tells you we've got so much longer to go. So if Montgomery misses 4 weeks, like, let's get another running back in. And then, you know, Montgomery's probably going to miss, and Jahmyr Gibbs probably going to miss some time. So there's going to be constant. So if you have a chance to get and acquire a good player for a 6th-round pick, I'm making that up. I don't know what would be offered, but I think Brad Holmes, without a doubt, has put his hat in the ring and said, I'll offer you blank, and just hold firm there. And if somebody else comes in and gives the Rams a 2nd-round pick, which they won't, but something like that, then fine. We didn't get him, but let's try for it and get him, because man, the injuries are piling up for sure. But I'm curious to see how we respond at home. Atlanta is a manageable game. The only thing that concerns me is that they've got the game plan to beat us, is do what the Seahawks did. You've got the kind of a similar quarterback, athletic, just play action, throw it in the flat, be patient. The Lions are just, oh my gosh. The Lions, we come up to make a tackle, we kind of miss them, and they get 7 yards. I mean, how many times did that happen against the Seahawks? So I like it. I like this trade. Let's make it happen. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see all of you on the next one.